Hi, welcome to another episode of Project Geospatial here at the GEOINT 2021 Symposium at St. Louis. Here with me is Kendrick Faison, right?
Faison, yes.
Faison, okay.
Yes.
You're with SpatialGIS?
SpatialGIS.
Out of Maryland, right?
We're out of Maryland, St. Louis, and also Fayetteville, North Carolina.
That's right.
Correct.
You're in St. Louis now.
We're in St. Louis, right next door to T-Rex.
So we'll get into that in a second, but tell us a little bit who SpatialGIS is.
So we're a minority-owned firm located out of, again, the 3 locations. We are a full-service geospatial firm working in the fields of data analytics, standard geospatial services, emergency services, and also drone technology as well from the firm.
Well, how about your background? How did you get into this?
Yeah, so I am a graduate of Fayetteville State University, historically black college in North Carolina, and I graduated from the university with a dual degree in history and geography. Then I went on to Murray State University, received my master's in geosciences at Murray State University, and then had a small agency called NEMA at the time. By the time I got there, it was called NGA. And so I had the opportunity to work at the agency, and then I had the opportunity to also go over to Booz Allen, work at another 3-letter organization, and then just recently finished as a national geospatial lead at FEMA. And one of the very few folks that can say they've worked at a major national disaster, which was Hurricane Sandy.
And you decided to start Spatial?
Yes. In 2016, I was at my university and we did a HBCU consortium. And for the first time, I saw African-American-owned geospatial companies, SDI, out of Louisville, Kentucky. And their CEO looked at me and said, "Son, you can do it." And so from that perspective, I knew people already in the business. I was an Esri student assistant, already kind of knew the players in the industry. I stepped out in 2016 and started the company, and it's been a good ride thus far. So
talk to me about some of the services that you want the government to know you can specifically do compared to everybody else around you.
Yeah, I mean, so one of the things that we are a small organization, and so when it comes to rate, but also the scalability, we have a lot of organizations, especially coming out of COVID, that are, I use the analogy of the Titanic, turning the Titanic in a pool, right? Having a company like us, SpatialGIS, we have the ability to scale up our workforce because we're coming right in outside of COVID. And there's a lot of folks that need opportunities and jobs. So one of the things that we are working on right now is data management. We feel that most federal agencies have systems over systems, and a lot of agencies are now going to the cloud, right? And so we have the ability to come in to support agencies with cloud implementations, to scale up, and also do a lot of consultant work for the enterprise solutions that most agencies, people have GIS and geospatial services, but most of the time it gets kind of geeky, right?
Yeah.
And so how can we have a systematic approach to help organizations and groups to develop a more enterprise solution using GIS?
Okay. Well, how many people are in your company now?
Right now we have 4.
4.
And won't have 4 for long.
No. Well, okay, so
Yes.
that kind of overlaps with another discussion. You recently announced that you moved to St. Louis.
Yes.
Tell me about that. What was that? What inspired that move, and what are you doing here?
So I have to tell the truth. So one day I was on LinkedIn, and Mark, Admiral Sharp said something about St. Louis, and I said, "We're on our way." And then Mark from T-Rex buzzed me and said, "Hey, are you coming?"
Well, no pressure now, right?
No pressure, right? I told the Admiral we're on our way. But no, just seeing, and I've been looking at St. Louis for a while. My best friend is from here. And
it's a good city.
Yeah, it's a good city. And as from a minority perspective, and I never shy away from it. I think as a black-owned firm and as black-owned geospatial company, it is very important that we're here, and we put our stake in the ground very early in the development of NGA West coming in 2025, I think. But being able to come in and actually hire folks, and most definitely hire folks that look like me, because as you guys know in the industry, there's not a lot of us, right? A lot of African Americans, a lot of minorities, and so how can we as an organization kind of come into the community? We have Gateway GIS, you have Global, Gateway Global, so there are some STEM programs, but we want to come in and be able to hire folks.
Well, how do you want to do that? How do you want to help foster folks coming into not just the industry, but coming into your company to help just with that?
Yeah, and so we've now built out a process to kind of work with our historically black colleges. I'm a big component of that. I'm a graduate of HBCU. So we have Fayetteville State, Tennessee State, but Harris Stowe is here too. And have been talking to their leadership, and hopefully we can get engaged with them. There's a whole pipeline of very qualified students, HBCUs, but even still, there are a lot of people that need jobs, right? And so we believe in, and I say this all the time, Spatial GIS is not a company, it's a culture. And so we're trying to build a culture of change so that people can understand that this very techie, high-tech thing of GIS it is not that techie, right? And we have to kind of sometimes, not saying dumb it down to but I say make GIS sexy again, right? And so the biggest thing for us is to build a community of like-minded folks, and also be culturally and ethically driven, right? A lot of firms don't look like the world outside.
Absolutely.
We want to build the company and the culture. We want to build that with Spatial GIS that looks like outside St. Louis as well.
Mm-hmm. Right? So where in St. Louis are you? At the new Geosaurus or T-Rex building?
Geosaurus, the Geospatial Innovation Center.
Excellent. And how many companies are in there with you right now?
I think last check, and Mark, don't kill me, I think there's 48 of us. And I think after this conference, I think people that have been able to kind of taste the water of St. Louis. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of economic opportunities for build out of business locations and things. So St. Louis is a very good sweet spot, but I think everybody's aiming for the NGA West build out.
Absolutely. So tell me more about what you hope to accomplish here at GEOINT.
Well, I mean, the thing I think, Grant Cardone says this, one of my mentors in person, people buy from you when they know you. And so will we come out of this where everybody will know us? No, but you'll see us. And so I think it's a process. It's like baking a cake, right? I think we put the ingredients, we stirred it, we're now in the oven. And so having this opportunity to be in the room full of, we call ourselves the Davids, and we're in a room full of Goliaths. And so we want to be able to just come in, make connections. People didn't know who we are. We have an opportunity. I think people are seeing it. And so it's all about collaboration and building community. And that's one of the things I think at this conference, the one thing that I'm really trying to get out is to say we've done it. Right, this is a big. If you guys have kind of seen this from the beginning, people are like, "What the hell is Spatial GIS?" It's a play on words, but no, we will be a organization that will make a good impact in the geospatial community.
It's a good culture of geospatial change.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, any last words you'd like to express to your audience that anything about Spatial GIS, or once again back to the culture? And
so we for young folks who are looking for opportunities, we are now hiring. So they can go to our website, SpatialGISservices.com. They can go to hire@SpatialGIS.com, JIServices.com. We have some opportunities that are coming. We had a good pipeline of work that's coming our way, and so we want to make sure that and one of the things we want to hire an A team. We just don't want to hire to hire.
No.
We want to be able to hire folks that are absolutely on fire about this technology, but really trying to come into a company and build that.
So you want to bring folks in locally, right? Mm-hmm. Do you have maybe not quite at the A team, but they're massively interested in GIS? Do you plan on instilling some kind of training culture here as well?
Yes. So and supporting. And so I believe the financial piece is where we're at, right? Yeah. Being able to support students that will come to a GEOINT conference, mm-hmm. that we could, as a company, sponsor those kids to come in. And I know GEOINT, you can't have the kids here, but being able to give those training opportunities outside from a philanthropy perspective, that is really, if you look at we just came out with a culture statement, and it's out. 10% of all of our earnings go back into the community. And
That's amazing.
And a part of that 10% is also ensuring that these kids get the training and opportunity. Not only kids, but college students. They can't. Some guy actually reached out to me on LinkedIn the other day and said, "Kendrick, I lost my job. I want to do this data analytics thing, but I can't do it." Mm-hmm. And so what I did, I went out and tried my best to find a training for him. That should never happen in this space.
And some people maybe not need the job right away. They just need a guide to know where to go next.
Correct.
And get to that point. They're missing the how.
Yes. There's a lot going on. The technology's grown, the processes are getting more complex, but the community itself has to kind of build on the community, right?
Yeah.
And so any ways that we could, I know there's free training, but we as a community have to kind of build on each other to ensure that in the years to come, that we're building a whole ecosphere of help and change. And I think that's coming. We can only do our part in it, but 100% I'm a stickler on doing the best to give back, because again, I got in the industry kind of off default. Nobody in my family went to college. None of these, nobody ever worked in the federal space, and I'm thankful for the experience, and I believe in mentoring. And so if anybody wants mentorship, as much as I can now, it'd be great if you want mentorship, because I believe that if you want to strive to get somewhere, you got to have somebody that's already been there before. And so all the experience that we've had with spatial GIS and building it, it is my goal, and I can close on this probably, is that my number one goal is that I can turn around and help somebody when nobody helped me when I built this thing out, right? And I want to be that either from a VC perspective, being able to finance somebody, but more than anything, help them build this geospatial space as well, especially from a minority perspective.
Well, that's an incredible objective, and once again, it's like, who doesn't want to become part of that culture, right?
Yes.
And you don't hear a lot about that in, unfortunately, some of these other companies.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, again, we're small. We have the ability to kind of have that control, right? And so, but again, it's really building an organization that people want to come.
Yeah.
People want to get engaged, right? And again, work is work. We can't change the focus of, a deliverable needs to be executed in a proper way. But on the downside, how can we build a family? And I think one of the things that I've learned in my career were at the organizations and the jobs that I had that were family oriented, I excelled the best. And so I'm taking a lot of that skill set to spatial GIS.
Well, thank you for joining us, and I love seeing you here.
Thanks.
Once again, I've been watching a lot of your stuff back in Maryland, and great to see you in St. Louis.
Thank you, and guys, anytime you need me, I'm here, so appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, we'll talk to you next time, and be sure to tune in for keep an eye on spatial GIS. They're gonna be big here.
Thank you, guys.